of insult to your dignity, kind of way that would start your day in just the most negative way possible. And that for just that simple piece of underwear that we can donate and give to somebody, at least that first moment starts on a positive. And then we'll just go from there. Every day, build moments at a time that are positive until life's kind of back on track. So when you get involved and get interested, it's interesting to think about when you come. For your 10 hours, it can be very, very simple. Volunteering at Dignity You Wear, you can just fold laundry. We dump big boxes of clothing out and you sort through it. We're inspecting it for damage to see if it needs to be washed or repaired, sizing it and sorting it out. It's easy. You could bring friends with you. It's pretty much fun. But that hands-on experience will really start to get you thinking about what other people's experiences in their daily lives could be. If you want to invest a little more than 10 hours and you want to create an experience ship that might help you explore some of your interests, any aspect of our organization, the management, the finance side, working with agencies, fundraising, any of that you wanted to, we would be glad to work with you and create something personal to you that would help you kind of advance yourself along something you want to explore about yourself. So give that some thought as well as you go for that extra bonus scholarship. But thank you for allowing us to come and present. It's Dignity You Wear. We're in the middle of rebranding, so I don't actually have any handouts today, but you can get out your smartphone and Google Dignity You Wear and give us a buzz. It'll be very simple to do your hours with us, or again, if you want to do something expanded, just let me know. Thanks for letting me be here today.
So Bob brought up a couple of interesting points, and I just want to highlight a couple of them. Getting involved in your community, right? How often do we find ourselves meeting people who might need our help? And so there are ways that we can give back to our community, and maybe we've been the recipient of help from our community. So helping to stay connected is what community service can bring. He also brought up a point about employment, right? And in fact, studies show that 73% of employers will recruit a candidate who has performed community service over a candidate who hasn't. All right, so this is something to keep in mind as you move forward. And it also becomes addictive. Like once you start now, then you're just going to want to keep doing it, giving back. Okay. And another piece on the academic front is that studies also show that students who engage in community service also improve their grades. Okay, so there's lots of benefits to volunteering in community service. On that note, I'd like to invite up our next nonprofit partner, and that is Penny Kivit from the City Rescue Mission. Welcome, Penny.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have to tell you that I moved here from Kansas City. And in Kansas City, we had a leadership program through the Chamber of Commerce. And that leadership program touched on pretty much the same principles that are up here and that interested you and got you involved. And one day, when I was asked to be in charge of the leadership program, it dawned on me we should be doing this for young people. And so we did. We reached out in the community and gathered a group of 25. Is there a magic in that number? And brought them together, and that program grew and grew, and 18 years later, this year, that program continues to thrive. Now you think of that, 18 times 25, math is not my forte. But let me tell you what that does to a community. It desensitizes them, it lifts them up, it puts them in the role. Those people now, hopefully, are back in that Kansas City community, giving of themselves because they know how important it is to volunteer, they know how important it is to be a leader. Let me add another little definition of what good leaders are all about. You can't lead if you don't have followers, right? No such thing. Can't do it. And what better way to get people to follow than to be excited about what you do in your community? So Hopefully, in addition to Dignity Wear and the MS Society and City Rescue Mission, there are going to be lots of wonderful opportunities there for you. Let me take a little bit of time. I was going to show you a DVD, but we're not going to do that. So I'm just going to share a little bit with you. Anybody in here have a clue how many homeless people there are in Jacksonville every day? 4,000.
Wow.
Now, that's bad enough. But when I tell you that there are only 800 beds, there are 5 agencies that deal specifically with the homeless in Jacksonville. And there are only 800 beds for 4,000 people. That leaves 3,200 people that don't have a place to sleep tonight, won't have a warm meal tonight. And now you start feeling the impact of what homelessness does and is in our community. But let me go a step further and say to you that there are no boundaries with homelessness. Currently we have PhDs, we have medical doctors, we have professional psychiatrists, we have accountants. There's no boundaries. It's you and me. And I often say the only difference has been circumstances. We all know what the economy's done to everyone. And so you couple that with a couple of, lose your job, lose your home, what's to happen? So we are so thankful that we are out there and able to help in lots of ways. City Rescue Mission's been around for 65 years. We're not a new agency. We're not a new organization. We are completely 100% privately funded. We are faith-based. We do 3 things. We have emergency services. Those 4,000 people on the street every day, we try to help them. Currently, we're doing a major renovation project so that we can take more women and women with children. Fastest growing group of people, by the way, that are homeless are women and women with children. So we're going to triple the amount of space that we have for women and women with children. Awesome thing. So we take people off the street, feed them, give them a place to sleep. We provide them with toiletries, Dignity Wear. They help us. We can even give them underwear. By the way, don't think that just because Dignity Wear is out there that the problem is solved. I will tell you, 98% of the folks that come to us don't have any. Simple things. A new pair of socks. Do you know what that does to somebody that doesn't have any? So that's our emergency services, providing very basic needs. The second part of what we do is what we call our Life Builders program. And our Life Builders program is a 12 to 18 month drug and alcohol recovery program. Large percentage of homeless people are also drug addicts. So rather than us just finding them a place to live, we know that we also need to address some of the core issues, in this case, drug addiction. National average success rate of a drug and alcohol recovery program is about 27%. At City Rescue Mission, it's 70%. It's an amazing program. We just 2 weeks ago had 22 people graduate from it. And graduation means that not only have they gone through the 12 to 18 months, but then they've left the program, they're living on their own, they have a full-time job, and they're a member of a church. 6 months of doing that, then we invite them back to graduate. That's probably why our success rate is a little higher. We want to make sure that they get it. We want to make sure that they're grounded. So that's the second part of what we do. The third part of what we do is what we call our not our Life Builders program, our New Day Workforce Development program. So the third part to making sure that people have basic needs met, if they're drug and alcohol addicts, that those addictions are gone. And lastly, we want to make sure that they have job skills and the correct education. Right now we have 9 students that we've enrolled in college this semester. Is that awesome? Hey, you want to be a forklift truck operator? We're going to send you to forklift truck operating school. I love saying that because it's hard. Try it. You want your CNA? Because you don't have a skill and you love caring for people? We're going to send you to CNA school. You came in and couldn't read, we're going to teach you. You came in and didn't have a high school education, we're going to get you the GED. You came in, you have your high school education, and now you want a career, we're going to send you to college. It's an amazing, awesome program that takes somebody and truly transforms their lives. So that's what we do. Now, where do we need volunteers? We need two things. You know, people often say, what do you need the most? Well, there's two things we need the most of. Because we're privately funded, money. That's number one. And number two, right along with it, are volunteers. We only have 55 employees. The rest of our operation comes from about 400 volunteers that we use every day. So our operation runs with volunteers. We have 3 facilities. One on State Street, downtown, right by the bus station. That's probably where you see people line up for meals in the evenings, if you are ever downtown. Then our McDuff campus is where our Life Builders program is. And then we have a thrift store operation. And, much like Bob said, with Dignity You Wear, we always are in need of people to come and sort clothes. It's also a good way to check out what came in, because when you do that, we let you put the goodies aside, and you can buy them when you leave. So you get first choice. And trust me, if you're not thrift store shoppers, there are some great finds in thrift stores. So that's a real area, and I say that one first because it's the one place on Saturdays that we can use hundreds of volunteers. We can't, if somebody said, can you use 500 volunteers on a Saturday, my answer to that would be absolutely. Have them come on over to Normandy. That's where our thrift store is. In addition to that, we also have other opportunities, lots of other opportunities. Serving the homeless meals. That's one. That's downtown at our State Street location. Helping adopt a room. You know, most of our dormitory rooms are always in need of repair, or getting new bedspreads or curtains or flooring or whatever. Lots of good opportunities there to take a room on and say, you know what, this group of 10 people adopted this room and they fixed it up for somebody. So that for the 18 months that they're at City Rescue Mission, they're going to have a lovely place to stay. We always have a need for people to come in and do office work, filing, you know, being on the computer, all the things that you all like to do, but people as old as I am say, where are those young'uns? I need them to come in and to help me. Our vastness of the people, and we serve about 1,000 people a day. That's what we're capable of doing in some form or fashion of the 3 areas that I told you about. So there are umpteen million ways. I brought lots of materials for you. Our current annual report, our last newsletter, my business card, and that's who you would contact when you want to come and volunteer. I'll put you in contact with my volunteer coordinator then, okay? And I am so thrilled that you want to be a part. Let me end just with one thought. We see homeless people on the street all the time, don't we? We see them with signs saying, help me, I'm hungry. Let me tell you the one best way, because oftentimes people say, what's the one thing I can do to help a homeless person? I'm going to tell you what not to do for a homeless person. Don't give them money. Sometimes we think that that's the best solution. It's not. Remember what I told you about drugs? 9 times out of 10, if you give them money, all you're doing is giving them away to continue to feed their habit. But here's what you can do. You can give them a bus ticket. And instead of that $1 that you might hand to them thinking that they can go and get something at McDonald's or Wendy's, what you've done is said, here, take this to City Rescue Mission. It's downtown, go to the bus station, and there you'll have a meal and shelter. So that's the best thing that you can do for a homeless person. What questions do you have? I don't think anybody will mind if I take a couple. None. I bet you will. So feel free to call me.
Time talk with Penny too while the students are
Thank
with
you.
their speaking.
Thank you.
All right, so clearly opportunity abound, right, to help our community, to get involved, and to make a big difference And Penny